Hello YouTube, I've gone for a walk. It's mid-January because I'm disorganised and busy and stuff keeps happening, but here I am, escaped the city for the morning, hopped on the train to Hadfield, and I've just carried on walking along the old railway line. This is of course the famous Woodhead Railway. Now should the Woodhead Railway be reopened? That's a very contentious hot topic which I'm not going to talk about, and is also not what this video is about at all, but it's a nice place to walk and a nice place to film, especially in the snow. So today I'm going to be going through last year's Place Your Bets, reviewing the answers to see who won. But first, let's quickly remind ourselves of our contestants.
Hi, I'm Hadassah.
Oh, I am Duncan.
My name's Michael.
My name's Gareth Dennis.
I am Nick Badley.
Oh, I am Nat.
I'm Tom Cowell.
I'm Thomas Haynes.
My name is Kirstway Will.
My name is Alkinos Canaris.
My name's Paul.
My name is Baron, and I am David's dad.
And I am, of course, David Frankel. So the first question was, what month will the next general election take place? I'm not going to go through the answers in this one because it's just people saying months. It's not that interesting, but nobody actually guessed July. Election, of course, took place on the 4th of July. I was 4 days off, annoyingly. That was a pot of £39,070, which goes to nobody. Question 2. Who is the leader of the Conservative Party?
I suspect it isn't going to be some total
I think Ben Wallace.
Suella Braverman.
David Cameron makes like a freak return.
Penny Mordaunt.
Rishi Sunak's.
It's still Sunak. There's no one else they can find to replace him.
It is going to be Boris Johnson.
It might be Suella.
I'm going to put £3,000 on Rishi Sunak.
I'm going to go with Kemi Badenoch.
And I'm putting £2,000 on the new Gaffmeister himself, the Home Secretary, James Cleverly. So congratulations to Tom, that's a clear win obviously, guessing that it would in fact be absolute nutter Kemi Badenoch, and for that he wins £24,007. Question 3. Which politician or celebrity, can be from anywhere in the world, has just made a complete arse out of themselves, and how?
I think I'm going to go with Elon Musk. Maybe that's slightly cheating given the number of controversies that we've had this year. So I'll be a bit more specific. I think that we'll see the Vegas loop either close or have some sort of major incident.
It's Sunak again. This time I'm going to go by hosting, a roundtable event with Count Dankula, the Hitler salute dog guy.
Hey, Stephen Mulhern, he is hosting Dancing on Ice. Something's going to go wrong. He's going to fall flat on his face on the ice like Gemma Collins did.
I'm going to go with Suella Braverman, who has downsized her Iran division to helicopters.
I predict that Joe Biden, having just won the election, will accidentally congratulate Trump on winning the election. Always have mixed feelings about this question because it's always a fun one to ask. People always come up with creative, funny answers, but I don't think anybody's ever actually gotten it right. Any one of Kemi Badenoch's brilliant gaffes about maternity pay, autistic people, sandwiches, or not knowing left from right, or Greg Wallace, allegations made against him by middle-class women of a certain age, as he put it, Ariana Grande's weird interviews, Elon Musk calling on the UK to rerun its elections, something that also Kemi Badenoch embarrassingly latched herself onto. Elon Musk's also gone a bit off the rails more recently, but I'm taking this back to the 31st of December. An honourable mention to Duncan's guess about Stephen Mulhern, who did in fact get punched, but nobody wins that pot of £15,505.82. Question 4. What has been the stupidest cause of train delays on the UK rail network this year?
Now, I'm going to bet that an Intercity 225 breaks down on the East Coast Main Line, and the Thunderbird that is meant to rescue it also fails.
Given the cost of living crisis, I'm betting that somebody is going to steal some part of like a signal box or something, possibly wires or internal parts. Well, whether they use it to sell online or just for the fun of it. But, well, obviously that's going to cause delays, and I think that's the stupidest reason.
I think it's going to be hard-boiled eggs.
A train is going to be delayed due to a failure of the signalling system due to a solar flare caused by NASA's Parker probe, which apparently is going to be going near the sun this time next year.
I'm going to put £1,000 on an animal being on the railway track, and it either can't be moved or people don't want to move it. Something to do with an animal.
I'm going to say a tunnel flooding, a tunnel that shouldn't flooding.
I'm going to go with swans on the line, but let's go with somewhere high impact, like a major terminal.
One of the TOCs forgetting to publish their timetable for a given week, and therefore no trains run on their network for at least a day.
Not building HS2.
It's Sunak again, continuing his general defunding of the railways.
There's going to be massive protests from the fox hunting lobby, and they're going to turn out in droves at stations throughout the country and come onto the platform and actually stop the trains from leaving, all because they can't shoot poor little foxes in the face.
A former rail minister falling into the gap between the train and the platform and having to be rescued. Now, in hindsight, this was not a great question because not everybody answering was a super duper train geek, and so we got a variety of answers, some of which sound weird, but are actually quite common causes of delay, so it was a tricky one to adjudicate on this. So as usual, when I'm unsure of what to do, I'm going to weight the answers based on entirely arbitrary measures that I've made up because I'm the game master and I can do what I like. So Hadassah, Duncan and Tom all guessed things that have indeed caused train delays this year. Animals on the track, swans on the track, or indeed tunnels flooding. That does happen from time to time. But I was very impressed by Nat and Nick's answer, who successfully guessed that we'd have some kind of equipment theft, and indeed right before New Year's Eve we just had the news dropping that 100 grand's worth of cabling had been nicked from the newly electrified Bolton to Wigan line. And the fact that they were able to guess that, and it just happened just before New Year's Eve, means one, I think they deserve a weighted bonus for that, and two, it almost makes me suspicious that they might have actually been involved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to award half of that pot of £23,410 and 93 pence to Nat and Nick, and split the remaining half between Hadassah, Tom and Duncan. Also, honourable mentions go to both Gareth and my dad Baron, but Schedule 8 does not capture systemic delay, it only captures prime cause, so systemic causes of train delays do not count. And question 5, what is the latest useless, performative, environmental/greenwashing gesture?
Some sort of ineffective carbon offsetting or carbon capture technology.
So, the government's latest greenwashing gesture is that they have committed to investing in wireless electrification.
They're painting all the new oil rigs that they've just awarded the contract to build, and they're painting them green.
All government cars are going to be electric.
Well, I reckon at this point, because of all the paper that's being used, cutting all down these trees for tickets for train, bus and all this travel, they're just going to say, no more paper, everything's online.
I think we're going to see sustainable aviation fuel this year be pushed really hard by airlines in particular, in terms of the upsell that they offer and trying to push towards consumers paying for further development in that. But I don't actually think we're going to see any real movement in that actually improving the environmental credentials of the airline and aviation industry.
And finally, question 5. What is the latest example of performative greenwashing? Another question that garnered some interesting and creative answers. The pot was £18,006.25. We've got the UK government pledging to spend £22 billion on carbon capture. We've got Northern got in the news actually for talking about ending of paper tickets, predicting that paper tickets would end. And then we've also got sustainable aviation fuel has been in the news with the government's new sustainable aviation mandate. So I'm going to split the prize between Hadassah, Nat and Nick and Tom for that question. Which means that once you tally up all of the pots, we have a clear winner, which is Tom Kell with £33,910 and 91 pence. Congratulations, Tom. You are the winner of Place Your Bets 2024. And to everyone participating in 2025, good luck, because it might be a hell of a year. Happy New Year. Hope you all thrive in whichever way you do this year. And thank you for watching.